In 1981, our critics charged that letting you keep more of your earnings would trigger an inflationary explosion, send interest rates soaring, and destroy our economy. Well, we cut your tax rates anyway, by nearly 25%. And what that helped trigger was falling inflation, falling interest rates, and the strongest economic expansion in 30 years.
It's time to pass a tax cut for the middle-class families. We're giving you the biggest tax cut in the history of our country.
By lowering everyone's tax rates all the way up the income scale, each of us will have a greater incentive to climb higher, to excel, to help America grow.
America's crushing business tax is a massive, self-inflicted economic wound.
Why not set out with your friends on the path of adventure and try to start up your own business?
We will make America the best place in the world to hire, grow, and start a business again.
I believe that in both spirit and substance, our tax system has come to be un-American.
To bring back those companies, bring them back to America.
The power of these incentives would send one simple, straightforward message to an entire nation. America, go for it.
Go for it. Well, the GOP tax cut bill plans to overhaul the nation's tax code. They're going for it for the first time since President Reagan's historic tax reform over 30 years ago. Joining me now is presidential historian and author of Game of Thorns, Doug Weed. Doug, you say that this tax unveil is very Reaganesque. This is a big Reaganesque moment for President Trump. Why do you say that?
Yes. Hi, Cheryl. Well, Ronald Reagan lowered taxes his first year in office, but he did not reform taxes until he was 6 years into his presidency, and he had a lot of political muscle. He had just come through an election landslide where he carried every state in the union except Minnesota. That's what it took to get it done. So this is pretty audacious. And by the way, Cheryl, this is a great day for Donald Trump. It's not very often that a sitting president gets mentioned with John F. Kennedy and Ronald Reagan in the same sentence. So this is a good day for him.
Yeah, we're going to get to that in just a second. But, you know, I'm curious about this comparison between the two presidents. The critics of President Trump are not going to like that he is being compared to Ronald Reagan. But I think that the phrase tax cut is comparative between the two.
Yes, a tax reform. This is reforming it. Just stop and think. We've had 8 years of Barack Obama. We had 8 years of George W. Bush. We had 8 years of Bill Clinton. We had 4 years of George H.W. Bush. Tax after tax piled on, even reforming these taxes now. You buy an airline ticket, you're paying 25 taxes. You pay your Wi-Fi bill, you're paying 21 taxes. Read the fine print. So to actually reform, it's way overdue. And Trump looks to me like he's going to pull it off. And if he doesn't get help from his own Republicans, he gets sabotaged. It only makes him look better.
I think it's all about the Senate, but that's a discussion for another
That's
day.
right.
Okay, you mentioned JFK. It's just a reality. Democrats like JFK actually once pushed for corporate tax cuts to create jobs. But Democrats of today, they seem to have turned this into some kind of class warfare situation. Listen to this.
Across the board, top to bottom cut in both corporate and personal income taxes.
The wealthy should pay their fair share.
It will include long-needed tax reform that logic and equity demand.
There is nobody in this country who got rich on his own. Nobody. You built a factory out there, good for you.
Every dollar released from taxation that is spent or invested will help create a new job and a new salary.
He's going to bring all these jobs back. Well, how exactly are you going to do that? What magic wand do you have?
And these new jobs and new salaries can create other jobs and other salaries, and more customers and more growth.
It raises taxes on the middle class, slashes taxes on the wealthiest 1%, and explodes the deficit.
I can't help but go back here to JFK, to what he was saying. It's almost like Democrats of today have completely forgotten those words from, I thought, was their hero in the party.
Yeah, the same, Cheryl, the same criticism they gave of in those days of Kennedy, or the criticism that is now being leveled at Donald Trump, which is if you lower the corporate tax rate without lowering spending, it won't work. But in this case, it did work for Kennedy. His argument was if you lower those corporate tax rates, they're going to invest, they'll create jobs, and the tax base will increase. That was Kennedy's argument. And he had conservatives, Republicans opposing him, and he had liberal Democrats opposing him for different reasons. Today, you have the same arguments being made as Donald Trump trying to achieve the same thing. He's combining the best of Reagan and the best of Kennedy.
I feel like I'm in an alternate universe, I think, at this point, considering where we've come in history. It's amazing. Doug Weed, thank you very much for being here.
Thanks, Cheryl.